Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing some mono black POX with Wasteland. I'm very hyped about this card. This came out like 10 years ago. I've never played with it, but it's always been awesome, and it's designed by the Magic community, which is really chill. So what does our deck do? Well, we basically try to get our opponent hellbent with this card, Bandit's Talent, and then it's like the rack basically, but it's the rack with a discard trigger when it comes into play. I'm hoping we're playing enough one drops because I went down to just 4 Thoughtseize and I moved the Inquisitions to the sideboard because the car is out of the format, thank goodness. But what we can do off Dark Ritual is often just hit like an insane 3-drop. We've got the 4 Liliana, we've got 1 of Trinisphere, 1 of Karn Silex, 2 Ensnaring Bridge, and 1 of Crucible of Worlds. So we've got a lot of things in the 3-drop slot that we can really hit with Dark Ritual, which is the real reason why Mono Black is viable. By the way, this is no reserve list deck. You can build it for a few $100s. And we're hoping to go up against some big mana decks with our Ghost Quarter and Wasteland and potential recursion of said Ghost Quarter and Wasteland. I've also got Momentum Breaker. This is one of my favorite cards from the Race Car set. It's just so cool to be able to, like, if they don't have anything to sacrifice, they have to discard a card. So this is never a 0-for-1. This is always a 1-for-1 at the very least. And then you can always sacrifice it later to gain some life, which comes up a lot when you're just trying to grind against like Delver and stuff. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds. I've got the Long Goodbye in the side. People have been using this against me a lot lately. It's really good against Tomio type decks. 4 Ley Lines, 4 Disruptor Flute. Don't leave home without them when you're not playing a blue deck. And then the 2 Inquisitions and 2 Damping Spheres again for the big mana decks. And we're likely up against a big mana deck here. A frequent trophy leader, Delthar. Very chill dude. This is on the play. I actually don't like this hand, but I'm going to keep it. It's got a lot of mana. We've got a Thoughtseize. We've got Hatchery taking up. Eventually, we'll be able to Smallpox. I just don't want a Smallpox for no value. Smallpox is really best when they're playing a creature-oriented deck, and they're not. So what I'll probably do is Hatchery, Thoughtseize, and wait a turn. I don't think I just want to sacrifice Hatchery for 2 cards, but I could always just discard the Dark Ritual. These permanent mana sources are way more valuable at this point. Hopefully they don't have the Petrified Hamlet. That card is so annoying. If they do, then I'll Smallpox so it dies, and then I can waste them the subsequent turn. All right, so typical big mana stuff. This Boulder is kind of disconcerting. I don't think they're going to get to the Ugin level of mana with the hand they're presenting right here. I think we take Thunder Trap, but we might take Force of Negation just because they're going to... No, they're not going to have cards for long, right? They'll force our Smallpox here, I think. And that's a 2-for-1. So let's take the Thunder Trap because I don't want them to get any card advantage. Yeah, Stock Up would also be a good candidate, but they may not get to Stock Up. Watch. Delthar is going to say same. I just said good luck, have fun. He always says same. Same. I love it. Never change. Except maybe don't play big mana decks. I can't stand playing against these decks. Okay, so let's take a look at the hand there. Thundertrap. Actually, you know what? Maybe if I'm going to Smallpox now, which I think I am, that's the mana efficient thing to do. Okay, so they're playing the Boulder. This has a very good activated ability when they get really high mana. But we'll just scoop if they get a lot of mana. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Smallpox to create a couple of spawns to get a clock going and get rid of that Planar Nexus. But it doesn't matter because they're not going to let me sack it. Oh, let's see what they draw. Oh, wow. That's so good. We could double... No, there's no point in double poxing. They only have 1 land. All right, I'm just going to see if they let this go. Which I just can't imagine they do. Because it creates the dudes... And then I can just discard the Dark Ritual. They had to pitch a Stock Up, though, which is pretty big cost. Yeah, they do. They actually they had forced to exile, so they still have the Stock Up, which is kind of scary. Okay. We'll try again next turn. And I can also waste them. So I can take out 2 of the lands next turn. Urza's Tower. Okay, so they have 4 mana, so are they going to 1-ring here? What are we doing? They're Stocking Up. Okay. This puts them to 2 cards. They still have the... No, they pitched a Force of Will, so they need Force Blue card to defend themselves here. And then I'm going to reduce their land to 0. I'm going to have 3 creatures out, and maybe they don't have more land? Because Ugin is not coming out anytime soon. I'm not going to allow that. By the way, if you're just joining us, why would you be joining? This is YouTube, not Twitch. I hope you're having a beautiful day. All right. So here, They're not going to be packing days. I am going to be discarding this Dark Rit. Let's try this. Small POX. I mean, we telegraphed, but I didn't want them to like have days. Why would they have days? They don't even have an island. What am I doing? I should not have played out that Wasteland. That was a punt. Okay, so we'll discard this and this. We'll die. We'll get a bunch of spawns. They're going to sacrifice a land, and then they're going to sacrifice another. Or not sacrifice, but it's going to get wasted. That we don't give them land. So they can dig out of this. It'll take a few turns, but I've got 3 lands in my hand, so I am going to keep my mana production, which is really important in this deck. Okay, Petrified Hamlet arriving a turn too late. I don't like this card. I've been very vocal about the fact that I don't like cards like Petrified Hamlet and Hexing Squelcher that stop interaction. So they absolutely could still win. I know it sounds crazy, but they could absolutely win from this position because I can't waste them anymore. If I draw Wastelands, they just don't do anything. And if they were smart, which they're probably pretty smart, they probably grabbed a lot of land off of that stock up. Okay, so the Ghost Quarter would be another good name here. Yep, and they think to name that because they're a pro. Like, I don't know if they're literally paid to play Magic, but they're definitely an extremely skilled pilot. And they also are a deck specialist. They've been playing this deck for like a year. How many mana do you have? All right, they're keeping the mana going. Do you have another stock up? You have another stock up. Holy guacamole, we're going to lose. They're going to go get another Planar Nexus and Tower. They're only like one mana away from the One Ring. I have no way to interact with their mana. They've got 4 cards in their grip, including the Ugin that effectively ends the game. That's a great rip. So the question is, do I want to keep this Fel the Profane? I think I do. I'd rather have that than the land drop, but like I'm far away from casting it. I think I just discard the Smallpox, but I am going to go ahead and use it. It reduces my clock, but they'll have to choose to sack one of these, and maybe they choose wrong, and then I rip a Ghost Quarter. They may have basics, but I'm not going to wait around. I just don't want them to get the One Ring. Fel the Profane can kill Ugin if I draw a Dark Ritual, but like they've already generated so much advantage by then. They'll exiled one of our tokens. They'll have gained 3 life and drawn a card. Even if like the very next turn we were able to kill it. We just have to keep them off that at all costs. They weren't threatening it next turn, but they were threatening One Ring, which is almost as bad. So this is painful for me because I'm like losing, lots of things, and they're just losing. But they're still on a 5-turn clock, which I know is not impressive. We could draw a Bowmaster. Come on, just brick on land for once. Okay, that's tapped in at least. So it's interesting they let the Underground Sea go. They're really worried about me destroying more of their land. Momentum Breaker. I'll just cast that now. I don't really have... I mean, again, this is a perfect example of why this is a good removal card in this deck, because it's always going to hit something out of their hand at least. Keep them lower resource. But if they get the One Ring, they're so low in life, I don't know. I don't think it's likely that I can make it. They forced that. Just to... Wait, why would you force that? Why would you force that? I think they may have gotten confused about what it does. Like, they just gave me a 2-for-1. Exile the Force to stop that? I think I'm supposed to play this out as a land drop. My life total doesn't matter, though. I'm just going to hold. Because, again, if I find Dark Ritual and they have, like, some blocker or something... Ancient Tomb. Okay, well, you can tap that a couple times. This is the... Oh, Karn. All right, well, that is... Karn Lattice Lock next turn. So I need that Dark Ritual now, deck. Yeah, they Lattice Lock me. I'm supposed to attack Karn here, but they're so low in life. So this is... by the way, the card that I used earlier, Momentum Breaker, which is now in exile. Oh, they have Engineered Explosives. They don't have the mana to use it. They're going to take 2 more damage. But, like, I don't have anything going on. It's crazy that I'm going to lose this game. No! And, of course, a Wasteland that I can't use. So I take 2 loyalty off Karn. What does that get me? That gets me another turn. I will play this out. Because then any land and I can kill Karn. The problem is if I let them attack me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then they have the life to do it, is the thing. They have the life to... tap that one last time to Karn Lattice Lock me, and then I just can't win anymore. So actually attacking... Yeah, I have to attack Karn to deny them the second selection immediately. But they can just crack they can pop this the following turn. Huh. Yeah, actually, if they Lattice Lock me, they're dead. Yeah, I punted because they wouldn't have the mana to pop this and to lattice lock me. So I should have just attacked them. Then that means that they're dead if they don't activate this. But they have the loyalty to grab the lattice and then kill me the subsequent turn. Okay, that doesn't really mean anything. If they have another land, they can still pop the explosives. I'd happily trade these two tokens just to get Karn off the table. Let's see what they find here. And this is an annoying card. I mean, it was smart for them to keep it around. I tried to keep them low resource. They're also one turn away from Ugin, which will gain them life. One of his many abilities. This shouldn't be a hard matchup. I'm pretty devastated that we're losing. They get the island. 2 mana to pop the explosives. They're hellbent. They're going to go... They're animating that. Interesting. Why? Are they going to go on the beatdown? That is a path to victory. All right, I'll take a damage. Let's draw a land so I can just kill the Karn. And at least... We won't be stable at all because they've actually got Ugin coming the subsequent turn. Like, obviously, POX would be great. They're just popping it now. They paid the life. If we draw POX, we're in a good position. Another hatchery, which I can't activate. Okay, so I just need to kill Karn. Yeah, let's do that. I'll just do that sorcery speed. All right, and I think we're going to die to Ugin. But they cast Ugin, they gain 3 life. Yeah, this game's over. They have the Ugin mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They need 1 more mana, actually. They've drawn, I don't know, like 10 lands this game to foil our plan. Let's count. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only 8 lands. I'm such a drama queen over here. They've seen 22 cards, 8 lands. It's not like that huge of a statistical aberration. They probably got a decent amount of land in there. Okay, let's find something like a smallpox, please. Karn Silex. We'll just play it, and I can blow up the world later. They can pop this with Giant's Boulder. If they can whiff on land for 1 more turn, then it doesn't actually change anything. Like, I do need a way to win. But Smallpox would absolutely win, because I get, like, all the creatures, and they lose the land and a creature. All right. And this can destroy any permanent, including lands. If they cast Ugin, I'll just scoop. Okay, good game. They're going to go to 1, but they go back up to 3. Let's see, Smallpox kills this, but they can gain 3 every single turn. There's no catching up. But, oh, actually, if I drop Bowmaster... No, it doesn't matter, because Ugin immediately puts them back up to 4. Ugin is still in their hand, right? Oh, they discarded it a while back. Yeah, I don't know why I'm freaking out about Ugin. I even noted that they were on 0 cards earlier. Sorry, my excellent friends. Okay, I mean, this does save me from their wrath for a turn. They can always blow it up with Giant's Boulder. I can at least stop this thing from attacking me. I don't know. I should play it out. Put another thing on this. Now, if I can kill this, I've got a lethal attack immediately. Players can't pay life to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities, so this does not stop them from paying 2 of their precious 3 remaining life to Ancient Tomb me. Their top decks are insane. My top decks are like Dark Ritual and stuff. Okay. No attack, but they can blow this up at any point if they want to start attacking again. Bandit's Talent. Let's do it. Do I want to go a life down? I can level it up immediately, and they die during their upkeep? They don't. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, they lose 2 life. So this does... this is going to take 2 life from them. I think I'm going to reserve the option of tapping this hatchery. So Bandit's Talent is a card I'm really hyped about. I can also level this up next turn. They may have Hardcast Force. That would make sense to be a card that they would be holding here. Okay, and now I'm just going to level it up. And the next turn I can level it up again. They can boulder it in their upkeep. Do they have the mana to do that? They need to boulder it now. Okay, they are. Nothing to be done here. It's a pity they didn't blow up my hatchery. This is a great game, though. Like, a lot of back and forth, but they're just going to windmill slam some crazy thing onto the stack here. Yeah, that's a lot of Thunder Trap. That's a lot of Otter. A lot of cards I can rip here, though. They're at 1 life. Bowmaster would be great. This only... any non-creature spell, right? K-Command. I think that's probably the end. This is the draw. We get Bowmaster, POX. We have lots of live draws. Come on, deck. Don't give me the Dark Ritual or one of the many, many swamps in the deck. Snow-covered swamps, by the way. Just to add to the confusion. Okay, they found a stock up. So Like the odds of us getting through this are extremely low unless we rip right now. Oh! Well, we'll play it out. All right. I can always blow these up if they present a threat, but they don't currently. So they can K command, find some insane card, stock up. Okay, so this probably finds a force and shuts off my lines. But they actually don't have hardcast force up. They don't have the mana. They could grab another land. Urza's Tower. That's a lot of mana. Okay, what is this? Another Karn. I can't activate artifacts anymore. But I don't want to blow up these otters. I just don't think it's worth it. We're one turn from a lock. This is the top deck. And I think it's likely that they have Invasion Submersible. Okay, well, it's just some arbitrarily large like EDH card that we're going to die to here. Bandit's Talent. Oh, I don't think this is going to be good enough. I can level it up, but they're not going to be low enough in cards for it to kill them. And they have the force anyway. All right, I'm going to concede. All right, we actually are like slightly ahead on clock, which is weird for me. So, Damping Sphere, yeah. Disruptor Flute, yeah. Let's take out Ensnaring Bridge. That doesn't do anything here, really. Trident Sphere is pretty terrible, too. I think we just cut that. That's going to hurt me way more than it's going to hurt my opponent that makes, 15 mana every turn. Bowmaster's not terrible, but actually they don't draw cards. Like, did you notice, like, all their cards don't involve drawing cards? But it is something that speeds up our clock, so I don't really want to get rid of it. Liliana is definitely worth playing. Crucible's great. They're not going to go after our mana at all. I do like the fact that Felder Profane can hit Planeswalkers. Smallpox is actually kind of bad in the sense that they almost never have creatures out, and if they are, they're 2-for-1 type creatures, but it is land destruction against a lands deck. I'm going to take out the Silex. They don't fetch. We need to make 2 more cuts here. I don't want to take out Waste Not for the memes. Like, I don't think this is a legacy playable card, but I'm just so excited to see it in action. Oh, Momentum Breaker. Let's just cut. Do we want to cut all those? They just don't have any targets. And then I can bring back in Inquisitions. No, Inquisition doesn't hit anything. I mean, technically it does, but I'm just terrified it's going to whiff. I think I'll play 2 Momentum Breakers. Because Momentum Breaker is probably just like a 1-for-1 discard, which is not bad. We want to kill them with Bandit. All right. This is a good hand. So this is lots of hate. Fistful of hate. That's what I love. All right. Let's just drop our swamp and we'll pass. Damping Sphere is going to be sweet. Of course, they have lots of ways to blow stuff up because they keep printing cards that help big mana decks like this rock thing that fixes and blows stuff up. Okay, they're going to name Wasteland here. I will Smallpox now so we don't have to deal with that. That'll be a pain later. Also, the other day I had somebody cast Lorien Revealed without a single blue source on the table, and I'm just like, like everything fixes. The Planar Nexus fixes. This fixes. And it, yeah. Well, it kind of fixes. Like if you have your own Wasteland, you can. No, wait, it's just tap, add colorless. It doesn't fix. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, that's a good start. Let's see. This is the chance to get rid of this card so we can waste later. I think I'm supposed to do it. And the card that I'll discard will be. I think I discard the Disruptor Flute at this point. I know it's a very good card late game, but we're going to hope to not let them get to the late game. The card that I discard shouldn't be Felder Profane because it's a land, and I am going to be starting to run out of land soon. So yeah, that was painful. That was like basically a 3-for-2. They discarded a Karn. Depending on what they do, I may not waste them immediately because I may need to stick to Damping Sphere if they're threatening. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm supposed to Damping Sphere first before I waste. Actually, I'm just going to get my Bowmaster going here. I'll see if they have like some K command. Very few of their cards draw. Oh, no, not this. Not again. Well, now my Wasteland doesn't do anything. They're going to name Wasteland again. Because obviously, like, all right. I'm doing my best. I can't stand this freaking card. All right. Well, at least we can take one of their abilities here. Let's go ahead and start with that before we decide how we want to play this. Oh, wow. That's a lot of freaking Urza lands. Yeah, their entire hand is mana. So I am going to Damping Sphere, but I don't think it really matters at this point. I'll hold the Fel. Like their hand does have like the Tron lands, Power Plant, and does double Power Plant. And another Petrified Hamlet, of course. Well, hopefully they choke on like random lands that don't line up correctly and we get a game 3. And if I can find a Ghost Quarter or another Smallpox, I will blow up my hatchery and get more attackers on the ground. So they'll name Ghost Quarter here, which is the correct name. Okay, I'm going to attack. I do think I'm supposed to tap my Hamlet, and I'm also supposed to play this Fel the Profane tapped. Okay, they're doing some mana fixing. They don't need to do that, because they have blue over theirs on that. Just showing off the new card, I guess. I mean, it is a cool card. I just wish that it wasn't just a handout to big mana decks. I feel like if big mana weren't a strat, like green big mana, fine, but artifact big mud, like leave that in vintage. That's my thoughts on that. Fight me. Change my mind, rather. Okay. Right, well, I'm going to come across. I will start cranking up this hatchery. They're actually not that far from activating this to blow this up if it's an issue for them. They've got 6 cards in their grip. We're not doing a good job of denying them mana. But if this ever pops, we can probably win. Just with, like, it'll be hard. I don't know. They have the engineered explosives. They're playing a main deck. All right, let's see what they get here. I mean, like, I built my deck to be able to beat decks like this, and it's not winning. Okay, fantastic. But luckily, Orcish Bowmaster is here to at least make the One Ring a little awkward. Black mana here. I'm actually going to go ahead and kill this. I need to do damage. It's pathetic, but I think it is correct. I can't attack through it. They may actually force, if they have a force here. They do have a double blue off Giant's Boulder. They are 2 mana away from using that. We brick. I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2. I am going to play this swamp out. I mean, like, it doesn't do me any good. Like, I can F6 through their turn and save some clock in case there is a game 3, which I don't think there's going to be at this point. But I am going to go ahead and crack both of these. Like, I don't think our life total matters at all. So they have a Karn. No, wait, they have One Ring, right? That was the card they got. And they have 1 more power plant in hand, and then 4 unknowns. I think if they got rid of Petrified Hamlet, like, this would be a good matchup again. But, like, this card, they're playing 4 of them. We got protection. I'll ping myself, or I'll ping my army, I guess. They have the power plant out. Okay. Next turn, they're taking some damage, but they get a vacation from Bowmasters. Tech both of those out. Come on, let's draw a Smallpox. No. I'm just going to play it out. F6. They take 1 damage. They can get to where they loop One Rings pretty soon. They can also just blow up my Bowmasters and then tap. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. They, of course, have the Nexus as well, so now they have incredible amounts of mana. This is over. Right, round 2. We're up against a likely blue-black tempo gamer. I like this hand a lot. Let's keep it. So this is definitely Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Bandit Talent. And there's a decent chance that they interact with the Dark Ritual, which is fine. I'll just take the slow road. I've got basic lands, which are great. And then once they have a creature out, that is when we Smallpox. Thoughtseize you. I might take... Oh, they forced that. What are they protecting over there? Well, I'm going to go ahead and just Bandit Talent. So you wouldn't force the Thoughtseize unless you had... they might daze this too. But that's still a 1-for-1. They may think I'm like Doomsdaying or something. No, because I'm Dark Ritualing. They brainstorm in response. That's fine. I mean, you're still going to have to discard a card unless you find a daze. They do have a basic, but basic is not immune from Smallpox here. They do daze. Okay, it's a 1-for-1. They're down to... Oh, they're back up to 5 cards because they have an island in hand. Okay, Ponder. They're filling up their graveyard, and now, unfortunately, Flow State is a card that is almost certainly in my opponent's deck. So they're in the zone for Flow State. Hatchery. I kind of think we Momentum Breaker just here for value. Just to do something. It's not really value, but it does give us life later. They have to discard a card. They'll probably... Oh, they discarded Delta? I think that's a huge punt. Like, do they not realize they're up against a POX deck? Okay. There's the Flow State that I was fearing. Like, if you're up against POX, hold as many lands as you can. So I am going to be able to play around... They're drawing a card here. I don't have a Bowmaster to punish. Let's see what I draw. Okay, another Swamp is not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and do our thing here. It's not ideal because we're just getting a 1-for-1, but I am getting the this to work. They may force here. They should force. Okay, they don't force. I will discard this Swamp because Fel the Profane is still alive if I Dark Ritual and they have like a Baragoyf or something. But I mean they're revealing red mana, which may mean they're on Show and Tell, And that would be a reason to force initially. Okay, so we get the dudes. It's not a huge army, but it is some pressure. Next turn I can... what level are we? I can gain some life, if that matters. They're on Delver. Interesting. Bobble. Yeah, I guess they showed the bobble earlier, so I shouldn't have thought they were on show and tell. Okay, well, we just drew a heck of a card here. So I am going to play this out shocked. It doesn't feel good. Ouchie. But I don't want to get dazed. Now I'm going to attack them. They're about to be Shadow Realmed. Not necessarily. They could draw out of it. But this is very good for me because they are... yeah, you don't want to get dazed on this. But they're going to lose the land and they bobble me. Or bobble themselves, rather. I don't know what the... Just, I guess to see whether this is going to flip. Okay, well, it's a good thing I played that land out, huh? Took 3 damage against Delver. It's counterintuitive, but it was correct. Do you have a second daze? No. All right, bye-bye, Delver. Like, let this wastable land go. Okay, we're stable. They draw their card. They got 2 cards in the grip. Do they have a land? They do have a land. Another basic island. Are they... They're not... No, they're not on mono blue Delver. Okay, this Delver could be a problem. I'm lower in life than them. Wasteland. I'm going to play it out. I'll attack them. This gives me level 3 for this. Or max speed, I guess. So I gain 4 life. They're at 13. I'll get their next land covered. It's almost certainly not. Like, they're playing 2-color deck. Okay, they're going to flip this and they can use it as a wall while they try to recover. Because they have card advantage in their deck in the form of flow state. I do not have any in mind. They could just hang back. They shouldn't attack me. But they might start attacking me. Which I think plays to my benefit. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and use this. Back up at 14. All right, we're bricking. I am going to keep attacking. There's little tactical value to holding this. I'm just going to play it out. Best draw in our deck is probably like Bowmasters. Because it puts some bodies on the table. And punishes cantrips like that one. I don't think we've seen Bowmasters at all this league. I did put him in my deck. There are 4 Bowmasters in my deck. We have not seen one. This entire time. Okay, well, I'm going to waste that Wasteland. I know it's like bait, and they actually have a red source, but I don't... No, there's no reason to do it right now. Oh, wait. What we do... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not going to be casting any spells. Now it's just us versus this flip Delver. All right, no flow state for you. Come on, what do you draw? Of course, you draw something you can actually use. It's probably their best draw. Oh, man. I guess most of their deck is 1-drops, but still, it's tilting. And they found a land. The card that they pitched to force, by the way, if you're curious, was a flow state. No, wait, it was a force. They force pitched force, I think. If it was flow state, then we did a good job of asking the question. Yeah, they force pitched force. All right. I don't want to play that out, but I actually should because it denies them a surveil, and I don't think they have another island in their deck. We still have a turn where we could draw one of many spells, but we are getting close to death here. Okay, so that I'll just kill. Should be no surprise that I'm going to kill it. Go ahead and do your surveil thing. I think that was a punt. Like, you should... I question a lot of the decisions my opponent's making. Forcing a Thoughtseize? Discarding a land? But we're still going to die to this Delver, unfortunately. Come on, Smallpox. Oh, crushing. Well, now I have Fell the Profane. I'm going to keep attacking. I'll block next turn. I know that puts me dead to Bolt. But they need a Volk and a Bolt. All right. Come on. So many freaking heck. Oh, man. Well, I'll play it. I mean, it's now we're days protected. Felt the Profane. let's look on the bright side. The silver lining. Okay, give me a Bowmaster. It doesn't even matter at this point. But like, yeah, give me a Bowmaster. My opponent is making a punt. No, I won't get it in time. No, never mind. Don't give me a Bowmaster. Give me one of the many answers that I have in my deck to this damn card. This pesky 1-drop that's killing us when we have totally dominated this game. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. They probably have force now. I can't believe we lost that. Man, that is a slap in the face. Slap in the face. They did have double islands, though, which was smart. So, dark, I think we had to bring in long goodbye. Ensnaring Bridge would do the trick. Karn Silex is great here. I hate to say it, but Waste Not is like a cute card that I don't want to cut it, though. It'd be so good if we could do it for the memes. They've got a lot of... they've got their own Wastelands, but they're probably taking them out. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out some of our Thoughtseizes. I don't want to be doing damage to myself. I know that that's like what our deck does, but Inquisition should hit most of those spells. You can bring in Ley Lines, but like, and that shuts off Merc, but I didn't see a DRC. They probably are playing DRC. But like Leyline is secretly really good against Delver. I don't know if it's a huge secret, but they're actually playing Delver itself. Like, yeah, we could have drawn Liliana. Liliana would have done it. Smallpox would have done it. Momentum Breakers would have done it. We had like 16 outs in our deck. Of course, just gave us like 5 lands in a row. Yeah, I don't think Ensnaring Bridge is spectacular here. I don't know. It stops the beatdown. Anything else that does damage to us? I want to minimize the amount of damage we're doing to us because we're up against a direct damage deck. I think I'm just going to trim a Ghost Quarter. They have lots of islands in the deck. Ghost Quarter is not for this matchup. It can hit our own land, but I probably wouldn't bother Ghost Quartering them. Okay, let's do this. This is Dark Ritual, Bowmaster, Bandit Talent. Level it up. Okay, and then we can hold the Momentum Breaker. I do need to draw land, but I have an unimpeachable mana source here. And I'm just going to hope that this is sufficiently disruptive. Oh, they're F6. Hurry, before they un-F6. I thought they were F6, but I don't think they're F6, actually. All right, Bandit Talent comes in. They're going to discard a land. Or a non-land, probably. Yeah, they discarded Delver. And then I think they may have changed the interface a little bit. Like, MTGO feels way snappier. And I think it's because you just click something to activate it instead of having to right-click and stuff. I don't know if that was the case before, but it does feel like they've made some minor changes that improve the experience. We'll attack here. No second land. It's fine. They could bolt this. I mean, this was an all-in Dark Ritual hand. This was a Legacy power level hand. You don't throw those away. They're fetching a wastable land and bolting our Bowmasters. That's fine. That's a 2-for-1. But granted, we did use the Wasteland there. Okay, there's their land. Corey is annoying, and I think will die if they have a bauble. They don't have a bauble, thank goodness. Okay, let's keep going. We're not going to draw a land. Well, I am going to attack them, but I think that's the game, unfortunately. I like this deck design a lot, but man, we're getting some bad beats. I'm playing like 27 lands. I don't know, a lot. I think it's like 27. Yeah, they had double Corey. I don't know how we get out of this. Like, we get land, we start killing these things. They killed our Bowmaster, so we don't get to stop the ping. Bowmaster was really good here. I promise we're going to win a game. Don't click away from the video. Don't be like, oh, another horrible, no reserve list brew from Be Excellent. Getting smushed by these, fancy dueling decks that are like actual meta contenders and stuff. Okay, yeah, good game. All right, round 3, we're up against Easy Money Marksman, frequent enjoyer of graveyard strategies. So this is a lot of blind discard, which actually plays into their plan. And it doesn't do anything beyond that. I don't like this hand. I don't think it's good enough. I need targeted discard to remove their... How many lands did I say I was playing? 27? My goodness, deck, come on. How do you get a no-lander when you have 27 lands in your deck? Just to show you, I'm not like 22 lands plus 4 Fel the Profane plus 4 Dark Ritual. So really like 32 mana sources in the deck. All right. This is as good as it's going to get. Card that goes back. So I'm going to Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Bowmasters. I want to have a Wasteland because I can do that with no mana. I don't want to throw away the second land. So I'm going to put back the Smallpox and the Momentum Breaker. I can't believe I had a double mulligan. That sucks. Okay. Like this deck shouldn't have to mulligan really because the insane amount of mana. But the first hand didn't do almost anything. I guess technically I can't complain. It did have 2 swamps in it. All right, let's see whether this resolves. Okay, let's Thoughtseize them. And we're going to take Force because we want to stick Bowmasters. Oh, they're on Moonshadow. Well, they will get the Moonshadow down. Yeah. I could wait. No, there's no way I can wait. I've already got the mana floating. Yeah, I want to get on the table and deny them this Brainstorm. They don't have removal, so they'll be able to play the Moonshadow, but then they'll just have to pass, and I'll attack with the thing, and they won't be able... They'll have to take the 1 from it, and then I'll just be sitting there, my sentry, ready to shoot when they make a move. Okay, so the important thing to note was... Okay, Moonshadow's coming down for sure. No? Yeah, Moonshadow. They just mistapped. Okay. And it sucks to have to Thoughtseize a Force when we're trying to get them low on cards, but I think it was correct. So I do think it's probably correct to waste into Moonshadow. Oh, what? What a freaking rip. Holy cow, that's so good. Did you rip Days? If they rip Days, it's so good. Okay, we got it. Bye, Moonshadow. Smell you later. I've never said that in my life, but I'm going to say it now. I'm sure we will smell Moonshadow later in this game. All right, we're Hellbent. Opponent's got 4 cards, including a Flow State, which could go off at any moment. They have a Brainstorm they can't use unless they're crazy. They already have an instant in their graveyard. They just need a Ponder to get sorcery in their yard. Okay, they may play Bowmaster themselves, but I'm not that concerned about it because aside from Waste Not, I don't draw cards. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to do this now. They have another Delta in hand, but it's worth it to deny the mana. They're Fatal Pushing here. That sucks. I am supposed to deny the mana, but they do have another land. Let it be known. They're going to Brainstorm now. But they're going to be Brainstorm. No, they're not Brainstorm Lock because they had the freaking Delta. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, they had the Fatal Push. There was nothing I could have done. I could have saved the mana for like more spells later. But again, my deck is 32 freaking mana sources. I'm sure I'll draw more lands. I shouldn't say that. I'm not sure. And I'm sure my deck will, slap me for my overconfidence there. They're just going to grab another. Maybe they grab a basic at this point. They may be on the Harmony Woods deck. There's a Ponder. So now they're in the zone for Flow State if they find another land. And that will probably be the end of the game. Because they'll probably draw into more land. So I need a Wasteland right now. Or, yeah, I think it has to be Wasteland. Lily, I wish I had more mana. But if I kept those Wastelands around, it wouldn't have helped the situation. Because I mean, it would have helped a little, actually. They're at 14. They're nowhere near death. We're very much unfavored here. Another Ponder. Without my Bowmasters to punish it. They do hit land. Lily would be fantastic if I could get a Dark Ritual. Karn Silex, another card that I can't cast, unfortunately, but will be very good against their deck if we get it in game 2. I think like this is a mold of 5, and my opponent's deck is just insanely strong. I've played a lot of leagues with it. I frequently like 4-1 with it. I haven't trophied with it yet, but Harmony Woods trophies with it all the time. Fetch into Flow State into just like so much value. And it's extremely unlikely that we even resolve anything from here. I'm just going to concede. Let's keep these rounds fast. I don't like garbage time. Long Goodbye, get in the deck. This is what it's for. Inquisition of Kozilek is better than Thoughtseize here. Because they do have a potentially very aggressive plan. It feels bad to take out Thoughtseize here, but I do think it's correct. Oh, wait. I think we're bringing in Ley Lines. Because Ley Lines shuts off Nethergoyf. Yeah. And then I'll take these out. And let's see, what else are we taking out? Ghost Quarter is pretty good against them because they only play 1 basic. Ensnaring Bridge is good. Crucible Worlds is good. Karn Silex is great. I'm trying to think of what else we can take out here. We have to cut 5 things. Smallpox is good because there's a creature deck. I mean, I hate to say it, but Lily might be the weak link here. She gets dazed. She is recurring discard for our Bandit talent, though. We're very much in the control role here. We need to slow them down. And I think if we stick any of these hateful permanents, we'll probably be favored. I'm going to take out the Waste Not, and I'm going to take out the Lilies. I know it's, like, not true to the deck, but we just want to, like, yeah, I want to mull aggressively to a Ley Line because that completely gimps the Moonshadows. All right. Yeah, this is a keep. It's a marginal keep, but it is a keep because we've got Wastelock. I think it's unlikely Wastelock resolves, but I'm gonna keep this. And then what I'll do is I'll start the Hatchery if they want to waste me. Wasting me would be a mistake. And then I can eventually pop this for value. And these are aerial creatures. They don't have any flying blockers in their deck if they're playing the Harmony Woods deck. That's fine. It would be very naive to waste me, in my humble opinion. Oh, I freaking forgot to tap it. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. That was a punt. They're wasting on my upkeep. I think that was extremely naive. But we'll see. It might pay them out. I could have had 2 dudes there. That was a punt for sure. And that might make all the difference. Like, I literally would have doubled my clock. Okay, Momentum Breaker. I'll play out this. We're going to pass. They probably have... Okay, they're looking at their top card, so they're doing some selection. Okay. I am not going to start wasting them until I have Crucible on the table. I'm just going to play out lands. Oh, holy guacamole. This changes everything. Let's think about this. So, like, I think it's extremely likely that they just force this, but they're not going to be able to daze it. Should I should Trini. I'm going to Trini. They have to force Trini. They forced that. Okay, well, that's a 2-for-1. My deck enjoys those. We don't get those often. And we just need stable mana. Like if they start wasting us a bunch, like if they have a 4 Wasteland hand, that's actually how we could lose here. We deny them a Surveil with our untapped Wasteland. Another fetch land. Okay. They may be able to actually tactically get around the fact that we have these lands out. Leyline of the Void is actually castable. I'm going to go ahead. What did they pitch? Did they pitch a Daze? They did. All right. Well, let's try this. Do you have another Daze? They fetch. I think they have a Daze. They may brainstorm into some sort of interaction here. Note that even though I have a Wasteland out, they still fetch. They may pay for a Daze. They know I'm not going to Daze back. So Wastelock is very likely here unless they have double force or a Daze plus a force. Bowmaster. Okay. I can beat that as long as they don't have another land. Now they're dazing and I can't. Well, yeah, they do have a lot of 1-drops in their deck, so Wastelock is not a guaranteed victory path. I have to play at this Felder Profane to ensure that I can resolve my Crucible, but I should do that. I don't know where this game went wrong. Like my hand felt fine. The fact that I didn't create a second dude is tilting me because now they can attack me. They wouldn't be able to attack if I just had a second body. I could just keep that up and deny them attacks. We're nowhere close to dying, but I just have I've got a bad premonition about this. So I'm going to go ahead and play this out instead of the Momentum Breaker just to get the... we're in before they are able to do anything. Let's go ahead and take that land out. And if they have a way to clear that, it's good. Like a Borrower would be good at this point, and then they might be able to daze it on the way back down. They do have another land. Like if they add to the... Yeah, I mean, that's pretty scary. So I need a land to get rid of that because that's going to grow really quickly. It's way more menacing than the Bowmasters. Also, you're seeing that unfortunate side effect of like target a player sacrifices the thing. They can just sacrifice the Orc Army. Oh, I have a land in my graveyard. Oh, let's think about this. This is pretty good. So I'll play at the hatchery and then I can attempt to kill this. Or I can just waste and Momentum Breaker. But then I take a lot of damage. I could play out the Fel... No, there's no world in which it makes sense to play a Fel the Profane. I do want to play at the hatchery. I can eventually use this. It's just a question of how much damage I'm going to take, how quickly. So if I... I could just go for Leyline here. It's kind of a weird play, but I actually don't hate it because then the Moonshadow doesn't grow. If I fell and they simply counter it... But Leyline keeps it from growing, and it keeps subsequent ones from growing, but they have 8 cards in their graveyard already, which I can't get rid of. I feel like this isn't... Like, I want to discard this to, like, a Smallpox or something. I'm going to try to kill this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Ensnaring Bridge. That minimizes the amount of damage I can take here. Then I'll just waste. I am going to take some damage here, but, like, again, I'm denying them a mana, and I will empty my hand next turn. At the very worst, I can play out the Felder Profane. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably fell this. I do think we're in a favorable position here because we have Wastelock. That's got to be worth something. They can fetch now and do more damage now that they've attacked. They have another land. I need to get rid of all their lands. They keep... I wouldn't be surprised if they kept a land. Smallpox. All right, so what I'm going to do... Waste you. That grows the Moonshadow beyond... what they're going to be able to hit with here after I Smallpox. Smallpox. Okay, and I'll discard the Leyline of the Void that I don't think I'm going to get a chance to cast. Yeah, they scooped. Okay, we were going to take a lot of damage, but I think we were getting there. We had the Flyers too, so that denied them the attacks. I think this is actually a pretty good deck configuration. I'm just going to run it back. Keep in mind that they have lots of ways of pressuring Lily. So I don't think it's wrong. And also Thoughtseize would have been pretty bad there because it does 2 damage and it's just 1-for-1 to your opponent. And they may over-index on Crucible, but the thing is, it's not a card where you ever want to draw more than 1. Ensnaring Bridge is so powerful that I am justifying playing 2 of those. Karn Silex, you don't really want to draw more than 1. Trinisphere, you never want to draw more than 1. Unless you're like, you're all in on like Trinisphere type strategies or something like that. It does increase the likelihood of drawing it, but I'd rather just have like a nice, interesting kind of toolbox that they have to deal with. And I know it's the opposite of how I play. Normally I play 4 of everything, but like today, I think in this type of deck, it is nice to just have a little bit of variety. So hopefully we can get another Dark Ritual hand. This is a Snapkeep. This is very good. It's not a Dark Ritual hand, but I can go ahead and start taking up the hatchery. So I don't think they're playing basics. All right, so that is going to get a hit in. but Smallpox is very good now. Dark Ritual. All right, we'll just play this out and start ticking it up. It's going to create bodies when we POX. I think I'm supposed to Momentum Breaker first and save this POX, because they'll probably have another creature. They're playing, if they're on like a Harmony Wood style deck, they probably have 12. I haven't seen Nethergoyf yet, but I imagine it's in there. Okay, well, I have to activate this. So I get a dude. They can hit me for 2. This does, I mean, they may be able to tempo me with Moonshadow, but like, maybe it was a mistake to play this out, because I had Smallpox lined up, but I had POX lined up. I think it was reasonable for me to assume that I had a safe path to a second mana. Okay, they do have the Nethergoyf. So now, you know, if I'd mold aggressively to Leyline, I just don't think there's anything they could have done. But as it is, they're in a pretty good position. I think I'm just going to chump, because I'm going to attempt a Smallpox next turn. But then they'll just sacrifice this and Moonshadow will grow even further, but they may not have more lands. They do have more lands. Momentum Breaker kills one of these things. They're small, so they're going to take Ensnaring Bridge for sure, because that like is just GG. I don't think they can answer it. But they may be able to, they may think that they can kill me before I get this bridge out. Like if they have a daze, they may be correct. They took the Smallpox. Okay. So they're betting that they can just daze. I will take 5 damage. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I think this will save me more damage later when this is bigger. So I'm going to not block here. They could Bowmaster it, which would be annoying. Okay, I'm going to take another damage. Yeah, I mean, their deck is very good. It didn't feel like this was a mulligan, but maybe I just didn't respect their explosiveness enough. The thing is, it doesn't have that many threats. It's got like 8 threats plus the Bowmasters from the side. So it's not like it's a hyper-aggressive deck. I will say I'm happy that Easy Money Marksman has finally pivoted off of playing what I consider to be a pretty stinky deck, which is Reanimator. So the good news is this does potentially gain me life, which I desperately need. This does grow the Nethergoyf, though. Or it grows the Moonshadow when they sacrifice the Nethergoyf. Yeah, and they have an evasive beat. So now this doesn't even do anything. I will attack with it. They're not going to have a hasty beat. I should have attacked last turn, technically. So we are leveling up our Momentum Breaker. And I am going to absolutely sacrifice that to gain some life to get a little bit Moments Reprieve. Moments Respite. I have Felder Profane in 2 turns. If they counter the Ensnaring Bridge, I may be able to survive through Felder Profane. Hopefully they don't have like Flow State or something here, because that would just reload them. This Bandit's Talent is actually dangerous because it gives them like the potential to put a free permanent in their graveyard. Okay, so here I am going to Bandit Talent, and then I'll just level it up. It doesn't really matter. They can discard, and yeah, they're more powerful. I'm going to try to Ensnare next turn, but I feel very confident they're going to counter it. They discard a Daze. Well, that's a relief. Level this up, and eventually we can level it up to 4, but it's not going to do enough here. They have an extra card in hand, so I'll attack for 1. I'll pass. If they have Force Negation, which is absolutely something they could have here, that'll answer my Ensnaring Bridge as well. So I think I'm dead, because I think they're going to counter my Ensnaring Bridge, and then I don't have time to play my that also just kills me, I think. If they have anything they can put in their yard, that's pretty good. Okay, they do take 2 damage. Small moral victory, right? And any sort of fetch and we're dead. Good game. No, wait, they have to target their own land. But it doesn't matter. They know that. They win. Yeah, that was close. Okay, we did win a game, as promised. That literally came down to 1 life, I think. If I'd had 1 more life, I would have been able to jam the bridge. They were at 1 card. It's unlikely, like they wouldn't have been able to daze. Because I would have had an extra mana. They wouldn't have been able to force. I literally think that came down to 1 life. So very close game and very good games. All right. Up against a Likely Beans gamer. Hyped about that. They're on the play though. But I do have Thoughtseize, which is very good against their deck. Just take away their critical card, which is usually Beans. And Liliana is going to get some action here, hopefully. We have the awkward Smallpox that I probably can't cast. Oh, are we up against Blue-Black Tempo? Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. I was hoping to have a little more variety. All right. Well, we can at least take their Brainstorm here, assuming they don't have a Daze. That is the line. We can't waste yet. We need to develop. If we take the Brainstorm, then Smallpox will kill it. And they do have the Brainstorm. But they have Bowmasters. Yeah, that's a bummer. So we're not going to be able to kill this Tomio. Okay, let's take a look at their hand again. They do have a second. They've got tons of land. They're in a pretty good position. Play the land and crack the clue. Oh, ponder. Okay, good. But it's actually bad because if they find another ponder, they can flip her. And if they flip her, I actually don't think we can win anymore. Please don't flip her. Please don't flip her. But that's what they're doing. They're totally flipping her. Oh, black. Play something like a Thoughtseize. Okay. So here, I do want a smallpox. It sucks, but I think it's correct. I'll discard the... They're definitely going to take like a smallpox, I think, but it actually might be correct to just Momentum Breaker here to kill it, and then smallpox later, because I just don't have enough mana. If I draw a land, though, I will. Okay, they took the Momentum Breaker, so they're depriving me of the choice here. All right, Hatchery is great. It at least gives me a creature when I smallpox, which I am going to do, and then I'll Lily later. So they have perfect information about my hand. But again, I do have a flying creature, which is not nothing. I'm going to discard this other smallpox. I don't think it's good from here. I do want to get Lily out eventually, but Lily is horrible against Bowmasters. But Bowmasters can't attack in currently, and I'm not going to draw cards, so that's not going to change. So, whoa, oh no, Bowmasters can just ping this. Never mind. I thought I had a decent lineup here. All right, they can flow and hold off on the Bowmasters, but I am going to waste them. All right, I am going to waste them. I need to get them off. They're on a 3-color deck. I need to take away white, I think. Another smallpox would be fine. Let's think about this. So we waste them off black and maybe slow their roll. They're down to 1 card. They can't crack that clue. What is the white for? I think white's just for removal. Black is for meanies. All right, I'm going to pass. Again, I would have loved to stick Lily on, but she's just not going to do enough here. Don't have a land. They have a land. Okay, and it's also a black land. It's a sweet-looking swamp from Onslaught, I think. Okay, so we're at 14. The Trinisphere is appetizing, but it's not going to matter this game. We can take away one of their creatures here. They have a clue to crack. They've got a flow state. I don't think we're going to be able to win this. It comes down to what? Tomio is an explosive opening that I had to deal with. I had to take a Brainstorm, which is not what I would normally take. So now they have flow state. They haven't pitched anything. So flow state, and then they're almost certainly going to find a land drop. Oh, great, another Tomio. It's a hard POX life. At least give me a land. Okay, well, that's actually pretty good. I'm just going to main phase it. Did they draw a force? No. Okay, and now their Tomio is less threatening. I guess I do have like a good answer to at least keep Tomio from ultimating in my Bowmaster. Hopefully they don't draw another one. Uh-oh, 2 mana. Prismatic Ending. Okay, it took a while for them to resolve, so I was wondering what it was. But yeah, that makes sense. Okay, they're going to come across, create a clue. Their engine is revved. I need a land so I can stick my Lily and get rid of this thing. Come on, land. All right, please don't daze me. I really need this to go. They could force. Bye-bye, Tomio, for the second time. How many times do I have to kill you? She's so legendary. Her legend keeps coming back. It is chronicled by the scribes. Okay. Next turn we have Trini, which should be pretty strong here. If they find a land, they can flow immediately. But otherwise, flow state's like a 2-turn move, and I'm going to be discarding them. They do find a land. I think they're going to flow state now. Interesting. Choosing not to flow state. What do they have that is better than just casting flow state? Why are they waiting? Am I crazy? That flow state should still be in their hand, right? Oh, they discarded it. I'm just a dum-dum. I'm like, waiting for something that is never going to arrive. All right. So here, let's go ahead and Trinisphere. Force now or forever hold your force, most likely. Okay, now I'm going to make us both discard, which I have nothing to discard. You do have something to discard. Okay, they discard Force of Will. I'm going to attack. At this point, Ghost Quartering them does take them off a land, but they almost certainly are playing more basics. If they're playing a basic swamp, they're playing a basic island on the basic plains. That's generally how it works. I think I'm better off just holding the mana. Yeah, because they have this fetch. They can get anything. They're going to draw a card. I think I hold the Ghost Quarter. It might be useful later. It doesn't... It just feels like a waste. You know what I mean? I could draw like... yeah, I'm just going to wait. This Ghost Quarter is not good against these decks that play basic lands. My opponent's like a responsible gamer. Okay, I'm actually going to set a stop here. And I am going to try to deprive my color, since they're fetching aggressively to go get like a Surveil land or whatever. Okay. Let's go ahead and take them off white. Do you have a basic plains? Okay, they do. That's a good, responsible thing to do. Okay, and they're cracking the clue. That's fine. Flow state. That's a good card. All right, so we'll make them discard one of their 4 cards over there. And we're just looking for... Oh, man. Another land. Yeah, Trinisphere is not going to do a lot. I mean, it is making them not able to multi-spell. I will go ahead and gain life here since I'm full speed. And then I'll just F6 through the turn. Another Tamio. I can minus in Merker, and I certainly should. We'll get rid of this land over here. They still have the ability to cast all their stuff. But yeah, Tamio is dead. Liliana has been exceptional. Exceptional. As usual. But not always. They are a Bowmaster deck. They can just ping her right now if they have Riddler. Okay, well that is hopefully never going to come out. That would be horrifying if they're able to get enough mana. I need to... I've hit a lot of the lands. I would love to get another Ghost Quarter or just get the freaking Crucible, please. Okay, Hatchery. It's not terrible. I think if they have another land, the game's probably over though. I can minus Hatchery or minus Lily, but Lily will die to Aerial Beats if they can play it out of Warp here. They fetch. They're actually taking a land out of their deck, but they're surveilling, so they may be able to find a land. If they keep, then we'll know that we're going to lose Lily here. They put a flow state in their graveyard. They didn't find a land. Find that land. All right. Go ahead and activate this. We find Smallpox is very good here because even though I'll lose my dude, well, that is going to happen. Let's take a look at that hand over there. Oh, I have to pay some more mana. Dog. Bad dog. Well, guess what? I'm going to minus to clear it. Ouch. They've got a freaking... Unfortunately, this is the last time Lily is going to do anything, but we cannot count as dog. She will cause utter chaos over here. They are low in life. Their hand is Force. They need another card to play Warped Riddler. Come on, deck. I know we can do it. We can do it. I believe in you. They have our next spell answered if they have a blue card in hand. That's good. I'm going to do it now. Do you have the Force? Whoopee. This is really good for us. Whoopee. I don't know. Whoopee Goldberg. Star Trek. They're low in life. A Bowmasters of their own. What do you know? They, yeah, correctly ping our Bowmaster. Are they going to double block here to remove the threat? Yeah. Strong. Okay, so we're still dead to them ripping. If they find a land. If they don't find a land, and we find a Smallpox, we might be okay. Very expensive Brainstorm over there, which, again... The fact that they're playing Bowmaster, like their deck is much better against us than a typical blue-black deck. Let me put it that way. So this is the turn. Let's draw that Smallpox. Come on, deck. All right, well, I tried. Now we die to the big guy and this guy. They're going to get so many cards here. If we draw Smallpox next turn, we might still be able to win. They won't be able to cast Force. Oh, wait. They failed to find? They failed to find. They failed to find an island or a swamp card. They're out of lands. They're out of lands. I'm glad I didn't scoop. My goodness. All right, we're going to go ahead and take both of these up. All right. Their hand is Force. They have a Riddler that will never be cast unless they draw like a tech land, like a Caracas. I'm just going to pass here with Felder Profane up for their creature if they ever get to cast him. All right, that's irksome. They don't have Force in hand anymore. Where did the Force go? Oh, they brainstormed it away. Okay. Yeah, this happens. So I should go ahead and just kill it now just to reduce the amount of damage I'm taking and give me a little bit of breathing room. I could absolutely hold it. I don't know. Maybe that was a punt. I think I have enough with these that I don't want to do damage in case it takes me a couple turns to draw something. Ghost Quarter is quite good. Let's go ahead and just tap this now while they don't have the ability to do much. I mean, I guess technically they could stifle or consign this trigger. I should wait to the end step to do this. What could they draw between now and then? I don't think they're playing stifle, but they absolutely could be playing stifle / consign here. At least I want them to use it during... Yeah, I'll do it during their upkeep. That way they have to use it on their turn. It's a very small optimization. Okay, so here I am going to go ahead and make this. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I think they're going to die to this. They can absolutely create a bunch of dudes. But I've got a pretty good aerial assault. They can kill one. And then I hit them for 4. They're at 1. Then I just kill them with the subsequent one. They would need to kill me now. I think I will kill them before they kill me. Because if they do this, there is also the option of just killing the dog. So I hit him for 4. I think I'm supposed to just take this. If they have another Bowmaster, I'm actually dead though. Do they have Kaito? That's crazy. Am I just straight up dead now? If I draw a Bowmaster, they're dead. What are the odds my deck actually cooperates? I can't kill them from here. I probably have to keep 3 blockers back to survive a turn cycle if I don't draw an answer. If I draw a Smallpox, there's so many cards I could draw here. Bowmaster, Smallpox. If I draw a Felder Profane, I'll kill the Felia. No, I'll kill the Planeswalker. They're stunning one. Okay. That's smart. All right. So now I don't have an out. Felder Profane kills this. Then I double block this. And then, yeah, I have to do that, I think. Because I'm dead to this if it attacks. Yep. We have to do that. We have lots of... Like, do have the out of drawing, like... I mean, so many cards that we could draw here. But I do have to hang back. It's painful, but it is correct. If they find... Well, what could they find? A plow would obviously be good here. I think they're going to try to plow and blow out my block. But I have to block anyway. Yeah. They can absolutely blow this out with a plow. And then I'm just trying to draw the... one of my many cards that deals with this. Okay, they do blow it out with a plow. I predicted pretty much everything except, I'll be completely candid, I had no idea that they were playing Kaito in their deck. Okay, let's draw a freaking removal spell. The max speed dude. Momentum Breaker. That is pretty good, and I think that is good enough. They don't have Hardcast Force. Just going to chill. When they attack, I'm going to ambush the doggo. Right, that happens. They could have a second plow. I need to live in that world. My deck did give me what I wanted. And now we block. The safe thing to do is double block here. But I do believe that this Bowmaster is going to do some good. If they have a plow, then it's very sad. They don't have a plow. Okay. Surely they've drawn a brick after all this time. Wasteland. I can get lethal pressure. I'm just going to attack. No, wait. If they have a Felia, is that death? No, because what I can do is I can wait till after the attack, and then I can activate that and get a double blocker. Yeah, I'm just going to chill. They could absolutely consign. Again, that might be a card that they're playing. They play with the land. Okay. This is not guaranteed victory, but it does get them to 1. Epic game. Let's get a card out of the graveyard. I think it's going to be a Ghost Quarter, and we hit the swamp here. They scoop. That was an epic game. And this is not a good matchup. So Long Goodbye, get in the deck. Holy cow. That'll be very good. Karn Silex shuts off forces and fetches. I do think it's a one of. Trinisphere was okay there. Actually, I don't know how good it was. Smallpox is going to be good here. It's not clear what's bad. I think Ghost Quarter comes out. I just don't think it's a reliable thing that we're going to get through their 3 basic lands. And Mana Denial is not really where we want to be. We want to be a little more aggressive, I think. But our deck can only be so aggressive. Ensnaring Bridge, is that even good? I actually don't know that I believe in Ensnaring Bridge here, because they have a lot of tiny weenies, and they can... Tiny weenies. Sorry. They can, yeah. I'm just thinking of, the Vienna sausage, the cans. I'm sorry, but, was there a time when people actually thought that was, worth... oh man, I'm just thinking of all the hors d'oeuvres at the parties with people wearing their pearls in the 1980s and stuff with Vienna sausage. Ugh, sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this hand's great. This is a hand that gosh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my thing here. I think this is Dark Ritual. Yeah, I'm gonna stick the Ensnaring Bridge. They probably do have answers. They've got Prismatic Ending in their deck, for example. Hopefully it slows them down. Boom. Dark Rit. Dark Rit. I'm going to see if they flinch on the Ensnaring Bridge. That's actually less important to me than sticking this Bowmaster. And I don't think they're going to daze on this. Okay, yeah. And they're just sure, I'll let that resolve. They may counter this. Okay, they didn't counter that either. All right. So next turn, we have Felder Profane comes in, and we can Bandit's Talent. I'm liking our next few turns. Cantrips are... shut off temporarily unless they have a Bowmaster, which they probably do based on the way they're playing. All right, so let's go ahead and play this out shocked. Ouch. And I'm going to try to win a long game here. I don't want to attack in and lose my pressure. They didn't have a turn 1 Tamio, which is a big relief. Is this what you're going to force? No. They discard a card, and then I can level it up next turn, but they're not even close to being Hellbent. But eventually they will get Hellbent. Longabai is more for Tamio. I'm not even going to attack because I think they have a Bowmasters, and I don't want to lose 2 bodies. I'll just keep this back as a blocker. They have the dog. Interesting. Well, the dog can attack, but they have to clear this before they can. So if they have a land and a Riddler, then we're pretty Shadow Realmed. Riddler can't attack, though. They're going for my token. Oh, they're going for that. Why? Oh, they're going to stop it from coming back. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care that much. And then I can Longo by that thing. I'm not going to double block it. I'll just Longo by it. And I'm taking up my hatchery, which they may not have a good long-term answer to. I think they're going to consign here. I don't think that's a particularly strong play, frankly. Okay, so we have land. We have Bandit Talent. No, I have to Longo by. I'm just going to get rid of it now. It doesn't really matter. I could like give them a turn with it. I can level that up, and I'll attack for 2. This is going to bring about the plow. They don't want to take the extra damage. I love it when I'm right. I just wish they didn't have a plow. Now they're like unlocked, basically. Flow state's a very real possibility. They've got good mana now. They're not fetching their basics because they know that I have the ability to go after the basics too, but I've actually taken that ability out of my deck. There's a Riddler. Well, it's very lucky that we didn't face it earlier, but they may be able to consign this trigger. They do, so we have to deal with this big body. All right, so I Dark Ritual, Bandit Talent, and then I can level this one up too. No, I can't. I don't have enough mana. Let's see, Bandit Talent. They're not... Oh, and actually if we lower it, we're helping them. Oh, so bad. All right, it's so bad. But we do get a card. Let's see. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card for each opponent who has 1 or fewer cards in hand. Your draw step. Well, that'll never happen. They've got a freaking Riddler out. This is game 2. I'm thinking about just going to game 3. Like, I don't know how we ever beat this with our discard deck. I guess I double level them up and at least they take some damage. Yeah, I'll do that. So you discard a card, putting you right where you want to be, where you get extra cards. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're going to be like net the same amount of cards. I think it's more strong that, like, because again, they're not going to have 1 card in their hand during my upkeep, most likely. I will just level. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Was this already level 2? It doesn't matter. I didn't need to use the Dark Ritual there. Yeah, I think that was a punt. I'm not playing well because my opponent's got a freaking... Yeah, they lose 4 life. I mean, it's kind of a clock. They should just not play anything. Because if I draw another discard spell, they lose a lot. Okay. Actually, they're fine. Yeah, let's just go to the next game. I'm not confident we're going to be able to beat this thing. Okay. And I think my general rule for leagues going forward, and I know people might dislike this, is if I think we're maybe like sub 5%, I'm going to scoop. Before it might have been like sub 2% or something like that, but just take it from a person who plays a lot of Quantum Riddler. The game snowballs very quickly. Like getting up 1 or 2 cards in Legacy is often enough to win. All right. Hatchery, Bandit Talent, level it up. I think it's fine. We're likely to draw a bunch of lands and stuff, but I'm going to get my hatchery going. And I have the smallpox combo with it. All right. Discard a card. And I can level this up. And there is a world in which maybe we're getting extra cards with this. We can dream. It's way better than the rack. Like the rack, you should never play the rack again, in my humble opinion. Bandit Talent's like so much better. Play a Tamio, please. I want to freaking smallpox your Tamio so bad. I haven't seen days out of them at all. They may not be playing it. Okay, well, I'll waste that and we'll just take another turn. I'm not going to smallpox until they have a creature out. They're filling up the graveyard for flow states. This is just a wasteland pass. And every turn I wait, I get more of these dudes. Tamio, please. Surely you found a Tamio. Am I hallucinating? Like, they were playing Tamio, right? Yeah, that was this game. There's a previous one that against... oh, yeah. That's good. I think I'm just supposed to play this out to deny them a draw. I could get this other hatchery cracking. I think it's fine to just have 1 going, though. Now we deny them the surveil. Unless they surveil anyway, they don't. They're still not grabbing the basics because they want those in the deck in case I start going to town on them with Ghost Quarter, which is very smart. Play the Tomio. All right, I'll wait. I'm not moving. I will get the second one in. Okay, that's a good draw. How do we do this? First things first, I'm going to just use the... No, they could have Spell Pierce. I need to respect Spell Pierce. They're not playing Wasteland, so Spell Pierce is a good like kind of secondary option. They don't have Spell Pierce. So the issue is Felia does come down. If I don't do anything here... No, I should waste. And then I'm going to... Yeah, I was thinking, I could like stall them for a while. Because they're going to get Flow State here. They have Consign already in the yard. Flow State, take it where we can. And I will go ahead and just waste them to deny the mana. All right. And they have a fistful of cantrips over there. And a Felia, which is very menacing. I might draw creature removal. But Felia's flash is a big deal. That's their land. They're just holding these cantrips extremely patiently. I can tell my opponent's a really high skill player. Oh, and I should have freaking tapped that. Okay, I did draw a removal. Which, yeah, we'll just chill, and then we'll POX after Felia comes out. This is going to be the Tundra for Felia. Oh, they're not going to get blue mana? Your double cantrip hand, you're not going to get a freaking island? That's crazy to me. What's wrong with your mana base? Why wouldn't you get a freaking island there? I guess they have another one, but yeah. Like, you need a lot of white source, a lot of blue sources, in my humble opinion, because I've got a lot of ways to remove your land. They don't attack, which is respecting Bowmasters, which I respect. I think my opponent's playing great. Other than the questionable fetch there. I do think I'm going to do some damage to myself. Karn Silex. Well, this is a very good card. Options. One, we just nuke this. Karn Silex, they can't stop future things. They can just blink it. I think I do want to just go ahead and smallpox here. They're probably going to ponder and try to like desperately force this because it gives me a ton of bodies. And it hits their land. No? Is Karn Silex the discard here? I think Felda Profane is. I might come to regret it. All right. And next turn we can, if we draw a land, we can level that up. I'm also still representing Bowmasters, which they have to respect. They fetch immediately. Basic Island. Ponder. Okay, they're finally starting to use the cantrips, and this is their only blue source. So they can't use these brainstorms because of their scrubland fetch. All right. If we draw a land, we can level up, but we're not actually... Oh, that's so good. Maybe it is actually Karn Silex first. Yeah, they don't have consign. I'm going to Karn Silex. Hopefully this draws the force. Actually, if it draws the... But now they can't force the Lily, so that's really good. And I still have tons of life. I'm not worried about dying here, but they could kill me pretty quickly here if they needed to. So this shuts off force and subsequent fetches. They brainstorm, but they're not going to be able to break this to shuffle the brainstorm. I call it breaking the brainstorm because it sounds cool. But just to be more clear, they're not going to be able to shuffle the brainstorm. They'll need a ponder for that. Do they have a land? They don't have a land. They're screwed on blue. That play of grabbing the scrub land, I think that was absolutely consequential. We get the game. We get the match. Let's go into the final round. Let's see if we can 2-3. Immediate queuing. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we're up against a fan of the channel. This hand is very slow. Unknown opponent. Aether Kyle on 1. They might be an Aether Vial deck, which would be sweet. Aether Vial represent. This is a slow, steady hand. It's not exciting, though. I think I want to mulligan this. Don't punish me for mulliganing. Oh, this is pretty cool. We got Wastelock. We got Trinisphere. Momentum Breaker. Between Bandit and Momentum Breaker, I'm kind of here for just... I'm going to put back the Aether Vial. Or put back the Crucible here. I think I put back the Trinisphere because I don't have any acceleration. And we'll hope that they're just playing a lot of like nonsense lands that we can waste. Green Sun Zenith. All right. Legacy is alive. Dryad Arbor. So this could be like a natural order deck, but like part of me fears it's a natural order deck, but part of me hopes it's like some awesome Maverick style deck, which we're obviously much better suited to being a Maverick deck. So there's a little bit of selfish interest in there. All right. Badger Mole waking up the the Savannah. That's fine. All right. How are we going to beat this? Bowmaster pings the land. Man, they still have a lot of mana. I think they're just on the straight. Like, well, they are playing white. Usually, Cradle Control is just black. They are deploying their entire hand. Going and getting something that gives their creatures protection, probably. You know? Okay. It's a good ping target. I think this turn is just Bowmaster and paying the thing. Yeah, Dark Ritual would have been really lucky there, but that Dark Ritual would usually be pretty lucky. So I'm just going to try to slow down their creature build out a little bit here. Let's ping this because this actually makes Badger Maul Cup like a better attacker. And if they attack, I'll happily trade my entire board for anything, even if it's going to come back. Scythecat Cub. Are we going to die here? Don't have a land, please. Outland Liberator. Interesting. Like, strangely relevant against my deck. They don't have good attacks. All right. Hatchery is pretty sweet. So here's what I think we do. I think we Hatchery and we Bandit Talent and then maybe Thoughtseize too. And then they take some damage. Like, that's so Timmy. That just does nothing to address the fact that we've got all this on the table. Outland Liberator can likely flip. Yeah, man, this card is just like strangely relevant here. It is almost never relevant against my decks because I don't play a lot of artifacts, but I am playing both artifacts and enchantments here. Momentum Breaker is very stinky here. I do want to get this popping off. Yeah, it's got to be Bandit Talent, and then I'll just upgrade it. And then at least we're 1-for-1ing, and they're taking 2 damage in the upkeep. Unless they just want to dispense with it immediately and not take any. And I'm happy with that because then I can stick Crucible. I love Bandit Talent. I want this deck to be good so badly. Hogaak. Ouch. All right, you're going to take 2 damage, then you're going to put a giant creature into play. All right, yeah, we're dead. I mean, we could keep playing, but we're very dead to Hogaak. We would need like a miraculous series of draws leading into Leyline. Or wait. Leyline. Leading into Fel the Profane to get out of that. So I'm not going to take out Waste Not for the memes. We haven't got a Cassie at this league. I would love to. I do think Trinisphere is not good. Ensnaring Bridge is good. I guess we could have... No, because they had the artifact removal. So, like, it's unlikely that they wouldn't just, like, target our Ensnaring Bridge. They're an aggro deck. Thoughtseize not great here. I do think Inquisition is fine, though. What was the other card that I was like, man, this card's terrible? Momentum Breaker. It is removal. Well, let's bring in Longaby. I think that's it. I'm not going to play Leyline of the Void. I mean, like, yes, they have Hogaak in their deck, but it's just one of many dimensions. It's not like they're casting Stitcher Supplier or anything like that. Liliana is horrible in this matchup. Whenever a deck goes wide, Liliana sucks. And I kind of think we pull Liliana and we do play Thoughtseize because they may have like a do-nothing hand. But now our Dark Rituals are starting to suck. Yeah, Lily's so bad against her deck. I am going to actually keep the Thoughtseize in. The other option is keep the Leyline in. But they can play Hogaak from hand if they have enough creatures. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. I don't think this is a great matchup. But it is a creature matchup. And it's not like a big mana combo matchup. I think this is fine. I'll keep this. We'll just try to keep them resource light. Unfortunately, Ghost Quarter is going to give them a land, almost certainly. They have a forest in their deck. Oh wow, let's take a look-see here. They're playing Force of Vigor. Interesting. Well, that's good to know about, but I don't think that's good against my deck. The thing that kills us the most quickly is the Scythecat Cub. I think we're obliged to take that. Next turn, we Bandit Talent and just get a random card out of their deck. And, I mean, I could waste. They don't have any ramp in their hand. Yeah, I don't think Force of Vigor is particularly strong here. We don't get a chance to waste because they have a fetch. Fel the Profane is potentially relevant. So I'll just take the Bandit Talent here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to lose this one. I don't think we're going to win against both. White of the Reliquary is very strong. They're fetching, just surveilling. That's fine. Get some information before they decide what to discard. I want to compliment my opponent for playing a cool, interesting deck and not just playing what everybody else is playing. But my previous round opponent was playing a cool, like, Esper control deck too. So it's cool to play against it. They did choose to discard the dud card that doesn't do anything. So they have a Verdant Catacombs. If they fetch basics, I might be able to waste them and keep them off the 3-drop, but white is going to be out and it's going to be scary. I might be able to Dark Ritual into a Fel the Profane to kill it. The other option is I just hang back and I eventually fell it, but that means that they're going to get grist. Once Upon a Time. I can't believe this is the first spell. Wow. That's pretty good. That's a really good top deck from this position because now, and to their credit, no, they actually milled a Hogaak to yard. So they did just luck out and draw this. But that is something you can do. The idea is that Once Upon a Time is like at the very beginning of the game. And technically they haven't cast any spells, but they have done some stuff. There's the Verdant Catacombs. And so they have another Verdant Catacombs in hand. And this is pretty cool art. I haven't seen this art for this. I'm in favor of them reprinting the fetch lands into dust. It's the most important card in Legacy. Fetch lands are actually more important than duels, in my opinion. But, yeah, luckily they're not very expensive. Okay. Momentum Breaker. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's do this. So they lose their white. That was very necessary. And now we can also waste one of their lands. Doesn't really matter. They're not going to be dazing. Okay. And now we're actually in a decent position because we can waste another land. They have another land. But the question is, they have 2 more lands and a grist and maybe something else. Hopefully not another white. That would be scary. I got lucky to even draw that answer to one of them. I am supposed to keep wasting them. I'm hoping that they play a forest, and then Ghost Quarter may actually... I actually don't know if they're playing a swamp. I would be surprised if they're playing a swamp. If they have Bowmaster, they can immediately cast Hogaak, which is devastating. Green Sun for 1. So next turn, they can grist, make a dude, tap grist, return Hogaak. I might be able to fell the Profane Hogaak, but he'll just keep coming back. I don't have a way to exile him. So Bowmaster is now the best draw in my deck. Holy cow. Heck yeah. That is sweet. All right. That is very sweet. I'm glad we got that. Like, we're still going to lose, but it is nice that worked out that way. Did they use the second Catacombs? They still have a Catacombs. So they're going to be able to get black. But we have a little bit of pressure if they completely stall out. They do have 3 drops in their deck. Okay, there's the Catacombs. So the hand is grist and something that they're going to cast right now. I can take them off black with the Ghost Quarter. Oh, another white. All right, we need a Dark Ritual stat. This thing is huge. Or just another Momentum Breaker would be great. That's fine. I'll just level this up and we'll pass. I'm not going to attack into that thing just to level this up. But like eventually I will be able to sacrifice this for value. Next turn we can kill, but if they have a land, then they grist and Hogaak's out and the game's over. Yeah, good game. I think they're going to see that line, but we need to make them see it. Grist comes out. They make a dude. We did our best to rein them in. They can attack before they do it too, which is just even more devastating. I'm not going to chump. And do they forget that they have a Hogaak in the graveyard? They do not. Good game. Well played. All right, so let's wrap this up. So that was a 1-4. Not exciting, but I will say I had a lot of fun. The deck's fun to play. I think it's pretty well built. We never got to see Wasteland. I really wish we could have seen this in action. If you want me to do another league with this, if you've stayed this far and suffered through the, our opponents drawing like 8 lands against our land destruction deck stuff, we did get to do a lot though. We got to Trini somebody. We got to Crucible Luck. I think the round 4 opponent who didn't have enough vegetables in their deck, I think their mana base is misbuilt, frankly. If they're watching, like, they shouldn't run out of fetchables that quickly. I think we only wasted them like maybe 4 or 5 times. You want to have ideally like 6 or 7, especially like, I guess technically like I would probably have, if I was doing an Esper mana base, I would have 2 Tundras, 2 Underground Seas, maybe a Marsh Flats. But like I'd probably actually play 3 Underground Seas and 3 so probably at least 6 vegetables, and then I probably wouldn't play the Marsh Flats. I don't think Marsh Flats is what you want, but you can do it. And then other than that, like, clean games. It was exciting to see Easy Money Marksman playing the Harmony Woods deck, which I think is strong. I think it's probably at least as strong as the Kaito blue-black tempo builds that have the main deck Bowmasters. You can watch videos of me playing with that deck if you want to watch me play it. But this was a fun experiment. I love rocking the POX. Feeling great. Karn Solix is a one-of, felt good. We never really got to lock opponents down with Ensnaring Bridge, I don't think. We got to put it out, but I don't think it won us the game. We got to get some choice POXs, which is always the goal. I think Momentum Breaker was pretty exceptional here when he wasn't up against like a Bowmaster or something like that. We did get some Lily action, but yeah, she's definitely like weaker than she used to be. The fact that so many creatures can just attack her to death is a real bummer. Ghost Quarter was again, the big slops from this league is freaking Petrified Hamlet. I can't stand that card, and it's so frustrating that like we just can't interact with our opponent's mana base, despite the fact that we had lots of ways to do it just because of Petrified Hamlet. So there's nothing to be done about that. I should just quit whining about it. Should quit whining about Hexing Squelcher. The cat's out of the bag. They're never going to ban those cards. It's just going to make lives harder for control decks like this. But overall, I think my last minute edition of the Bowmasters was definitely a good idea. Before I had the creature that keeps coming back if it's the only creature in the graveyard that you can discard a Lily. And I think that was cute. It never really did anything. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Somebody leave a comment with the name of that card. But overall, I probably should have mulled aggressively to Leyline against Harmony Woods. Oh, Aether Kyle sent me a message. Let's see what he said. This is so chill. So the game's already over, and he said, "Hey man, just want to thank you for the games. Like I said, big fan of your channel." And I'm gonna say, and I think I can add him to a buddy. How do I add him as a buddy? I don't know. Anyway, you're my buddy in spirit, even if that means nothing to me on MTGO. Cheers, Kyle. Cheers, everybody who's tuning in. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.